This book is the reason I have a praise shelf on my Goodreads. Let me explain. Hi bestie, welcome to the Best Friend Book Club. I'm so happy you made it. I'm Sarah and today I'm going to be diving into the Cove series by Stephanie Archer. If you haven't read it, that's okay. Today's going to be a completely spoiler-free review of the series. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the book, the tropes to expect, and what I rated it. Let's just jump right in. So the first book in the series is That Kind of Guy by Stephanie Archer. All these are by Stephanie Archer. I didn't need to say that, but the first one is called That Kind of Guy. It follows Emmett and Avery. So Avery is working at a local restaurant and she eventually wants to become the owner of the restaurant. Emmett is running for mayor and I think his opponent has a wife and kids. He thinks that he needs to look like he can be taken seriously. He needs to have a significant other and not look like a bachelor so that he has that mayor image. So we have a little fake dating, fake engagement situation. The agreement that they come to is that Avery will be the fake fiance to Emmett and Emmett will eventually help Avery become owner of the bar. And so it goes through all of the hurdles that they have to jump over to convince the small town that they are really engaged. I thoroughly enjoyed this book when I read it. Of the four, it was my least favorite, but as I was reading it, I was like, this is so cute. I love this so much. It's great. But going further and further, they just got better and better and better. Some of the tropes, we already talked about fake dating / fake engagement, hate to love. Also, no third act breakup on this one. Love to see it. And I know that the cover doesn't really look like it because it's one of those cute cartoony covers. I'll put the cover up somewhere around. I'll put it up again, but it's not giving, oh, this is gonna be spicy. There is spice. I wouldn't say it's the spiciest, but there is spice. The spice is good. Really, really enjoyed this one. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Like very, very solid 4 out of 5. Again, least favorite in this series, but I do think you should read them all and read them in order, but I enjoyed it as it was happening. Now looking back on it, I'm like, oh, it was fine. But it was great at the moment. I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. This book is the reason I have a praise shelf on my Goodreads. Let me explain. So, The Wrong Mr. Right. This is following Wyatt and Hannah. So Hannah is about to turn 30 and she's looking at her life and she's like, what the heck? She inherited this bookstore from her mom that isn't doing so hot. But she also wants to keep the memory of her mom alive and feels like she can't make the changes that she wants to make. She realizes that she's never been in love and she just feels like everything's falling apart around her. So she approaches her friend, Wyatt. Wyatt is a surfer who is in need of somebody to, I'm pretty sure it's run his social media accounts. So the exchange here is that Wyatt will basically be her dating coach and she will run his social media accounts for him. I hope they don't fall in love. That would be super crazy. Unless. I love this one. This one makes me so happy. So this is the book, like I read this one and I just stopped the series. I was like, it can't get any better than Wyatt and Hannah. I was wrong and I'm so glad I was wrong, but I took a break from the series for a while after this book and obviously, spoiler alert, I came back to it and finished the entire series and fell in love. So, some tropes to expect from this one though. I have it on my age gap shelf. I don't remember what the age gap was, but age gap, I guess. Friends to lovers, he's her dating coach, obviously, and he takes care of her. I love a man that takes care of her in the sense that like, you know, like, oh, she's sick or, oh, she hurt herself, that situation. Yeah, that. So the reason that I created a praise shelf after reading this book was because the praise is both in and out of the bedroom and it is constant. Like he is so supportive of her in her dreams and her hopes and like wanting her to have like the best life possible, but also like praise in the bedroom, you know? I hope you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I read this book and was like, okay, immediately need a praise shelf. I've added other books to the shelf since then, so if you add me on Goodreads, I'll put the link somewhere in the description, but if you add me on Goodreads, you can check out all my shelves. I'll do a little shelf tour maybe one day. If you want it, let me know. Of course, because I created a praise shelf, the book is spicy. I wouldn't say it's the spiciest book I've ever read, but there is spice. This is a very, very solid 5 out of 5. I loved this book. It was one of my top 10 of 2023. Loved it. The third book is called In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes. So this is following Holden and Sadie, and Sadie's aunt passes away and leaves her half of the inn that she owns, and the other half is to Holden. So now they have to work together to fix up the inn, and they want to sell it so that Sadie can get her bag and move back home. Forgot to mention, Holden owns a construction company and Sadie is an interior designer, hence why they had to work together to fix up the inn. And also another layer happening here is that Holden wants a wife. So Sadie's like, I will help you find a wife out of the goodness of my heart. Like, I'm bored, let me help you find a wife. Spoiler alert, he finds a wife. That's all I'm gonna say. I will say this, this is really, really specific, but if you are a fan of A Court of Mist and Fury chapter 55, there is a scene in this book that was giving chapter 55 of Akamath. So I will just leave that there. If you haven't read In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes, but you have read A Court of Mist and Fury, please just read it for that one scene and then DM me and be like, oh my gosh, you were right. That scene was amazing. You're welcome. You know? It was really good. I really enjoyed this book. I think I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 because I don't want to spoil why, but there was just something that happened in the book that I wasn't a huge fan of. I feel like it could have been done a little bit better. But I really, really liked Holden and Sadie. I also liked the callbacks to things that happened previously in the book. So things would happen in like the first third of the book that were being called back to at the end of the book. I just like when everything comes together, you know? Some of the tropes here, we have workplace romance, grumpy sunshine. He's obsessed with her. Like, he is so obsessed with her. I love it. I also think, friends with benefits. And there was something else. If I remember it, I'll let you know. But yes, this was a 4.5 out of 5. Pretty solid. Like, I definitely enjoyed myself while I was reading this. And I immediately went into book 4, which is Finn Rhodes Forever. I think this was my favorite of the whole series. So this is following Finn Rhodes, obviously, and Olivia, who were childhood best friends turned enemies. So Olivia is finishing her PhD, and she's hiking in the mountains to find this local flower, like this flower that's native to their small town. And the townspeople are worried about her hiking by herself and injuring herself. So Mr. Firefighter / ex-best friend Finn is like, I will go with you. Out of the goodness of my heart, I will go with you. And so he is relentlessly trying to get back together with her. She agrees very quickly to get back together with him, but then is trying to put this plan into place to get him to break up with her. This book is so good. I love this one. Some tropes in this one would be enemies to lovers, no third act breakup, found family, the banter's off the chain. I love the banter in this one. And second chance romance, did I say that? Childhood friends turned enemies to lovers. It was just so good. So this was a 5 out of 5 for me. I don't know if I said this for the last one. Did I say this for the In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes? That book made me create a new shelf on my Goodreads called Use Your Words and use your imagination for why I would create that. But In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes and Finn Rhodes Forever both has some like version of use your words or tell me what you want. Okay, the spice, especially in the second two, way spicier than the first two, but it's just written so well. I love this series so much. I cannot recommend it enough. Like, if you have not read it, please go pick it up. I also didn't say this in the beginning, but they're all dual POV. Each book follows a different brother, and they're all on KU. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, what are you doing? Why aren't you reading this book right now? Download the first one. and then read it and be like, that was pretty good. And then just have your mind blown as you read each one after that. I am extremely happy that I read this series. I was putting off finishing it, but now that I finished it, I'm happy that I read them because the books were so good, but also very sad that it's over. The fourth book made me cry because I was just like, I feel like I've been hanging out with them for so long and now I won't see them again. You know, you get what I'm talking about. I hope I don't sound like completely crazy. I'll never get to experience reading this for the first time again, and it's just so special. So please, please, please go read it. Another thing, I almost forgot. Another thing is that I really like the timeline of this series. So book one, let me see if I can explain this properly. So book one, it's all of book one, and then the epilogue. The epilogue for book one still takes place before book two starts. And the same thing, epilogue for book two takes place before book three starts, and so on. So there isn't like overlap in the sense that the epilogue is happening during book two. I hope that makes sense. But I really, really like that about it because I don't really like when it spoils little details that happen in the other books. Okay, final thoughts. Read this now, please. Favorite one for me was book 4, Finroads Forever. Then after that would be The Wrong Mr. Right, then In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes, and then That Kind of Guy. I enjoyed all of them. I had a great time, but that's just how I would rank them. If you read this, please let me know. Let me know what series you want me to do a review of next, because this is actually a lot of fun. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye.